Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you work, success just doesn't seem to grow? That something invisible keeps holding you back, in your home, in your mind, in your life? I felt the same way, until one day, I did something very simple. I started throwing things out. Yes, you heard that right. I threw out a few things from my house, and everything began to shift. My income grew, opportunities opened up, and even my peace of mind multiplied. It was as if removing those things unlocked a new energy that had been trapped around me for years. At first, I didn't believe it myself. How could objects, ordinary, harmless things, have such a deep effect on prosperity? But when I learned how our surroundings quietly shape our mindset, I understood everything. What we keep in our home doesn't just fill space, it fills our thoughts, our emotions, and even our future. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what I threw out, and why those simple actions helped me prosper 10 times more. These aren't random cleaning tips or minimalism trends you've already heard 100 times. What I'll share today is based on what spiritual teachers, feng shui experts, and even psychologists call energetic clearing. It's the hidden side of wealth most people never talk about. You see, clutter doesn't only block space, it blocks flow. Every item in your home holds an energy, a memory, a vibration. Some of it uplifts you, but some quietly drains you. You might not see it, but you can feel it, that tiredness, that fog, that sense that something's off. That's not coincidence. It's energy trying to tell you it's time to let go. So stay with me till the very end, because I'll reveal the exact items that secretly block abundance in your home. The signs your house might be holding negative energy without you realizing it. And the simple but powerful process I use to release those blocks and invite new opportunities in. And here's the best part, once you understand this, you'll start to notice changes almost immediately. It's like flipping a switch inside your environment and inside your mind. You'll see clearer, think sharper, and attract more of what you truly want. But there's a twist. One of the things I threw out was something most people would never think of removing. It's something almost every home has. When I got rid of it, everything started moving faster, my finances, my creativity, even my relationships. You'll hear about that later in this video, so don't miss it. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to flow through life while others struggle, this might be the missing piece. Sometimes it's not about working harder, praying longer, or saving more. Sometimes it's about clearing what stands in the way of what you already deserve. Welcome to Bright Mind Within, the place where we explore the powerful connection between your thoughts, your energy, and your reality. If you're ready to learn how a simple act like throwing things out can open doors to prosperity, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay till the end, because what you'll discover here might just change your life too. We often believe that keeping more means having more. More clothes, more gadgets, more decorations, more memories. But in truth, accumulation quietly blocks growth. Every single item we hold on to, whether it's useful or not, takes up space, not just in our home, but in our energy field and mind. Think about it. When your surroundings are full, your attention gets divided. You can't focus clearly when every corner reminds you of something undone or unused. Old things carry old energy. They hold the vibration of the time you bought them, the emotions you felt, and sometimes, even the worries you had back then. By keeping them, you unconsciously keep those old feelings alive. Scientifically, this isn't just a spiritual idea, it's psychological. Studies have shown that clutter increases stress and makes it harder to concentrate. Researchers from Utah State University found that decluttering helps reduce anxiety and improves focus. Mind Body Green also reported that clearing your physical space directly affects your mental clarity and emotional state. It's like giving your brain room to breathe again. And it's not only mental. Clutter costs money too. Every item you own is either something you've already paid for or something that stops you from seeing what you truly need. When you clear it, you start to spend more consciously. You stop buying duplicates, avoid unnecessary shopping, and often find hidden value in the things you already have, sometimes literally, in forgotten cash, unused gift cards, or resellable items. So, accumulation doesn't just slow your outer space, it slows your growth, your decisions, and your ability to attract new things. Energy can't flow freely where everything is already full. When you remove what no longer serves you, you make space for better things to arrive, naturally and easily. When I began clearing my home, I started with something simple: old clothes. I realized how many shirts, jackets, and shoes I hadn't worn in years. They just hung there, taking space and carrying old versions of me. Each piece reminded me of a time that had already passed. Letting them go felt like letting my past self rest. Once I donated or discarded them, my closet looked lighter, and so did I. Next came the books I never read. They sat on shelves, collecting dust, silently whispering, "One day, you'll get to us." But that one day never came. When I accepted that, I understood these unread books weren't inspiring me, they were quietly reminding me of things I hadn't done. Releasing them gave me back focus and self-respect. Then there were broken gadgets and old electronics, phones, chargers, headphones that didn't work anymore. Keeping them made no sense, yet I did. They symbolized delay, the "maybe I'll fix it later" mindset. Throwing them away cleared not just drawers, but that constant mental clutter of unfinished tasks. I also found duplicates: 2 hairdryers, 3 extra mugs, backup cables. I kept them just in case. But that phrase, "just in case," is a fear in disguise. It signals doubt that abundance will come again. Letting go of extras taught me trust, that when I truly need something, I'll be able to get it. Then I looked at the invisible clutter, and used subscriptions and services draining my money. Canceling them freed up resources instantly. And even deeper, I faced emotional clutter, debts, unresolved financial ties, and relationships that constantly pulled me down. Removing that energy felt like removing invisible chains. My space, my mind, and my spirit finally had room to breathe again. The results didn't appear overnight, but they began sooner than I expected. Within the first week, I felt a shift in the air around me. My home felt lighter. I could breathe deeper. It was as if a quiet calm had replaced the heaviness that used to linger. My mornings started with more energy, and my thoughts became clearer. I found myself finishing tasks faster and feeling less anxious about the day ahead. After a month, the external changes began showing too. I noticed that unexpected opportunities started to appear. I received small freelance offers, old clients reached out again, and even small refunds came in from places I had forgotten about. It wasn't magic, it was focus. When I cleared the physical mess, I began to see what mattered. I managed my finances better, noticed wasteful habits, and naturally attracted extra income. By the 3rd month, the difference was undeniable. My earnings had increased, not because I worked harder, but because I was working smarter. The distractions that once slowed me down were gone. I had more time to think, create, and act. The more space I created outside, the more space I felt inside, mentally and emotionally. I wasn't rushing or overwhelmed anymore. Even my environment looked different. My home no longer felt crowded or stagnant. It became a place that inspired new ideas. That small act of decluttering had multiplied into a cycle of productivity and calm. My wallet grew, my mind focused, and my time stretched. I learned that prosperity doesn't always begin with earning more, sometimes, it begins with removing what no longer deserves space in your life. When I began removing unnecessary things, I didn't realize I was also redirecting my energy and attention. The moment I cleared physical clutter, my mind stopped jumping from one distraction to another. Suddenly, I could focus on what truly mattered: my goals, my work, my personal growth. The space I once filled with unused items now became room for new ideas. My thoughts felt organized, sharper, and lighter. Soon after, I noticed something else: financial gains. By selling items I no longer needed, I made extra cash that had been sitting idle in my home for years. Beyond that, I stopped spending carelessly. Before buying anything new, I would ask myself, do I really need this? That one question saved me hundreds. I cut subscriptions, reduced waste, and found joy in using what I already had. It wasn't just saving money, it was controlling where my money flowed. With fewer distractions, my decision-making became easier. I no longer wasted time choosing what to wear or where to place things. Every small choice felt clearer because my environment no longer demanded attention. Simplicity gave me confidence. Each small success, one organized shelf, one cleared drawer, built momentum. I felt proud, motivated, and capable. That energy carried into other areas of life, work, health, relationships. And underneath it all was a deep psychological shift. Letting go taught me that losing something isn't the same as lacking. It erased my fear of not having enough. I started believing that space invites abundance. Every time I released something old, something better found its way in. That mindset, of trust instead of fear, became the real foundation of my prosperity. When I decided to change my space, I started with a simple plan, an audit. I walked through each room with a notebook in hand and wrote down everything that no longer served me. It wasn't just about what looked old or broken, it was about energy. If something didn't make me feel good, useful, or peaceful, it went on the list. This process opened my eyes. I realized how many things I was keeping out of habit, not purpose. Once the list was complete, I moved to the next step, categorize. I created 3 sections: keep, toss, and donate or sell. The keep pile included only what I used and loved. The toss pile held things that were damaged or beyond repair. And the donate or sell pile became my favorite. It reminded me that what I no longer needed could still bring value to someone else. This part felt freeing, like giving life to things again. Then came execution, the real turning point. I didn't just move items around, I physically removed them. Bags went out, donations were dropped off, old papers shredded, and broken items recycled. My rooms began to breathe again. After a few weeks, I entered the monitor and adjust phase. I revisited each space, checking what stayed tidy and what started collecting clutter again. This helped me understand my weak spots, areas that needed new habits, not just cleaning. Finally, I learned to guard against clutter returning. I set one golden rule: one in, one out. Whenever something new came in, something old had to leave. Small daily habits, putting things back, avoiding impulse buys, kept my space light and open. It became less about cleaning and more about living consciously. One of the hardest parts of letting go wasn't the act itself, it was the fear that came with it. I kept asking myself, what if I need this later? That small thought can stop anyone from moving forward. To calm that fear, I began taking photos of the things I wasn't sure about. Storing them digitally gave me peace of mind. I could release the physical object but still keep the memory. Strangely enough, once the item was gone, I rarely looked at the photo again. It proved that I didn't really need it, I just needed to know I could remember it. Then there was emotional attachment. Some things carried deep meaning: gifts, notes, souvenirs. I didn't force myself to clear everything at once. Instead, I did it in small stages. I would pick just one shelf or one box and sort through it. That gentle pace made the process easier and less painful. As time went on, I could feel my emotions separating from the objects. I started to understand that the memory stays, even if the thing doesn't. Time was another challenge. The idea of decluttering an entire house felt overwhelming. So I started small: one drawer, one table, one area a day. Each little step built momentum, and within weeks, I could see real progress. Small progress is still progress. And of course, there's the fear of judgment, what others might think when they see a simpler space or fewer possessions. But I realized that no one else lives my life. I get to choose what stays and what goes. My home reflects my peace, not anyone else's opinion. Once I accepted that, every decision became lighter and more freeing. You don't need a lot to prosper. You just need the right things, and the courage to let go of what no longer serves you. I threw out old clothes, broken gadgets, and even emotional baggage, and what I got in return was 10 times more space, clarity, and opportunity. Now it's your turn. Try this process for yourself. Start small, one corner, one drawer, one item at a time. You'll be surprised how fast your energy shifts once your surroundings begin to match your intentions. Tell me in the comments, which item will you throw out first? I'd love to hear what you discover once you begin. And if you enjoyed this video and want more simple ways to grow, attract abundance, and live with peace, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Bright Mind Within. Remember, this works for anyone, anywhere. You don't need to buy anything new or change your life overnight. Just begin where you are. Clear space for what's coming.